Hey guys, Patriotic Stack here, and I'm back with another video for you guys and girls today. I hope you all enjoyed your weekend. Here we are, Monday, and look at gold and silver. It's gone back up. Silver just hit the $50 mark again. Gold is at, I believe, at 41.50. We're definitely getting that hike again. You know, it dropped down a little bit. It was staying at that little dip, if that's what you want to call it, and now it's back up. Hopefully it'll drop down again, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, in this video I'm going to talk about what silver I'm buying that a lot of other people are not. Let's get to it.
Well, it's cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time, because you'll never get closer than now.
So I bought some silver over the weekend, and this silver that I'm buying a lot lately, a lot of people are kind of staying clear from it. You know, there's some longtime stackers in our community that are still buying it. There are still a lot of people that I know of that are buying it, taking advantage of this time to buy it. But there are some people that I hear that they're done buying it for now. They're staying clear from it. The only way they'll buy it is if it's like, a really, really good deal. And I'm with them on that. Like, I'm only buying it too if it's at a good deal. I'm not going to pay a premium on this stuff as the prices are now. I'd like to be at it at least at melt, but even then, I'd rather be under melt. Um, but at the end of the day, it's still silver. This stuff that I'm buying it's still silver. And that stuff is 90% silver. As you can see here, I bought $30 face value of Roosevelt and Mercury dimes. Just to give you a good picture here, how about we dump this on the table? And right now, as I'm speaking, it is Monday, November 10th, I believe. I could be wrong. It could be the 11th. Not 100% sure. But as we're speaking, silver and gold has gone up. Silver is at the $50 mark again, and gold is about 41.50. So we had gold and silver. Silver was at that 58 mark for a while, 48 mark for a while, my bad, and gold was at that $3,900 mark for I'd say at least a solid week and a half. But it's finally broke that again, and it's gone back up to the $50 mark. So as we're speaking, these silver dimes melt price on these as of today are $3.60. I purchased these at $3.10. I'm still getting silver. I'm still paying under melt. I mean, that's a great deal. In my opinion, I think everybody right now should be buying a lot of 90%. A lot of 90%. Because here's the thing here. People are selling their 90% to dealers, coin shops, and they can get it a better price selling it to their refinery. So the refinery takes it and they start melting it, right? And they don't make this anymore. They stopped making 90% silver in 1964. 64 was their last year. 65, that's when they brought in the clad. The half dollar stayed 40% up until I believe 70, 71. But they stopped making 90% silver. The last year was in 1964. They don't make this anymore. Tons of it already was melted in the 1980s, and tons of it is getting melted now. Um, so the thing with 90%, I remember years ago when I first started stacking, 12 years ago, there was practically no premium on 90%, kind of like today, right? I could pretty much pay melt price for it at the time. Dealers were practically giving this stuff away. And then fast forward a few years later, 90% had a huge premium. Everybody was stacking it. Everybody loved 90% silver. I mean, you can go back and every YouTube channel, every person in our community was talking about 90%. Everyone was buying it. It was popular. Um, and right now, I mean, it's back to like, melt price or even below melt price. But if you're an experienced stacker, this is the time to buy it. Because guess what? Yeah, 90% is not so popular at the moment. But in a year from now, or maybe even 6 months from now, or 2 years from now, the premiums are going to go back up and it's going to be just as popular again. This happens every time in our community. Just for example, let's use the Silver Eagle. Now, the Silver Eagle is my favorite American silver coin, my only favorite American silver coin. Um, well, pretty much the only American silver coin. It's my favorite silver coin to stack. The Silver Eagles, a few years ago, the premiums were insane. I remember premiums were like 10 to 12 to $13 a pop on American Silver Eagles. They were insane. So not a lot of people were stacking them because of the premiums. They were just too high. They could buy a 10-ounce bar, two 10-ounce bars for three 10-ounce bars for the price of one tube of American Silver Eagles, which is 20 coins. Um, so a lot of people, experienced stackers, were not stacking the American Silver Eagle. Well, then the premiums dropped down, back down to about 4 over spot, 5 over spot. And that was about a year and a half, 2 years ago, just before I left YouTube. I remember I finished up my Eagle Monster Box. Me and Silver Gold Stack Attack, we were stacking American Silver Eagle Monster Boxes. And it was a great time to do that because the premiums were, only a few dollars more, a few dollars over spot, 3, 4. I think the lowest I got was $3 over spot. And these were, new BU Eagles too. These weren't Coles or banged up Eagles. Um, but then now you look at Eagles. Eagles are going for $12 to $14 over spot again. The premiums on Eagles now are insane. So there's not many experienced stackers spending the money on the Silver Eagles because of the price. Yes, are they one of the most liquid American, you know, one of the most liquid coins in the world? Yes, absolutely. I agree. I agree with you there. It's my favorite silver coin to stack, but I'm not stacking them at these premiums. Um, so 90%, I mean, if you're an experienced stacker, this is the best time to buy it. You're buying it for practically, you know, less than melt. If maybe not online, because obviously, online they could if they have money. These big dealers like APMEX, and Bullions, they can sit on it. And when there's a buyer, there's a buyer. They don't care. But like in the smaller community, like little LCSs, little online dealers, they got to move this stuff quick. So they're give good prices. Um, but I think it's a great time to stack 90%, and it will go back in premium. It will be very, very popular again. But while it's not popular and while it doesn't have much traction on it right now, this is a great time to buy it. I mean, if you're looking to get out of silver, you're older now, you're in your 60s, 70s, and you're about to retire and pass all your stuff down or sell it or whatever. Um, yeah, I wouldn't recommend selling your 90% silver now because you're not going to get the best dollar. Absolutely. I mean, all the premiums you paid, you know, the price, you're just not going to get. They're going to pay you probably $4 under spot on this. So, it's not a good time to offload your 90% now. But if you're a stacker and you're holding on to, your stack for the long term, like myself, 90% silver is a great silver to buy now because you can buy it, like I said, under melt from local coin shops, from little private dealers around the area. Again, maybe not online. A lot of these online dealers, like I said, they're premiums are crazy. You're probably not going to get good prices online, and I wouldn't recommend you buying this at any online dealer. I recommend you buying this from local coin shops or coin shows because that's where you're going to get the best price. But I mean, I'm stacking it. I've stacked it for years. I love 90%, and it's not the only silver I stack. Guys know me. I love my Silver Eagles. I love my 10-ounce bars. I love my vintage silver. My gold, 90% silver. I stack a wide variety, maples, silver maples, rounds. I stack a wide variety of silver and gold. But I love my 90%, and I think it's a great time to buy it. You know, a true stacker wants to get silver and gold at the lowest premium, right? They want to try to get it as close to spot as possible, or a dollar or two over spot. You know, they don't want to pay a lot of money. You know, they don't want to pay a lot of premium on their silver, unless there's a certain piece or a certain collection, you know, item or limited edition item or a certain vintage bar. That's different. You know, there's a little more value than just the silver and stuff like that, or gold and stuff like that. You know, there's a premium, or numismatics, for example. But you know, a true stacker wants to buy silver and gold at the lowest, as close to spot, as close to melt as possible. And 90% right now, there's just really, really good prices on it, and I'm all for it. So yeah, guys, 90% silver, in my opinion, it's a good time to buy this stuff. And like I said, in a year from now, the premiums will go back up on this stuff. Um, Dealers will be buying it like crazy off you. They'll be offering you good prices, and refineries will be offering you good prices. Just right now, they're getting a little picky because I mean, silver and gold prices are so high. They can turn around certain things because the demand isn't really there in a way. I mean, yes, there's a lot of people stacking, but a lot of people, you know, long-term stackers are also holding off at these prices. I mean, if you bought this stuff for, you know, $1 a coin rather than $3.10, does it really make sense to, you know, start buying these now at $3? You know what I mean? Like, that's with anything. So there's a lot of stackers that are holding off. So refineries are being picky. They want 3/9 fine or 4/9 fine silver and gold. They're staying away from 90%, a lot of them, and a lot of sterling silver and other, you know, lower grade silver coins and bars and stuff. But for an experienced stacker, you know, it's the best time to buy this 90% because you can get it for under melt. Like I said, I paid $3.10, and the melt value as of today is $3.60. So I saved a lot of money there. But that is not the only thing I bought. I also bought some more cool vintage bar, like this one here. This is a Denver Gold and Silver Mint. Oh no, Denver Gold Silver Exchange 10-ounce silver bar. Another rare, awesome vintage bar. And if you can look here, look how low the serial numbers on this. I looked these bars up online, and most photos I see of these bars are, you know, in the higher thousands, 2,000, 3,000s. As you can see here, you know, the glare, don't mind the glare there. It's 00687. So this is a lower bar, one of the first, you know, batches out of this mint. So this is really cool. But yeah, this is the Denver Gold and Silver Exchange, JW. Great 10-ounce bar. And if you can see here, like you see the rivets, I wonder if these stack. I'm pretty sure these stack. These might be probably between these and the early A-Mark bar. These probably might be the first stacker bars. I'm pretty sure because you can see like the rivets there. But yeah, I bought this awesome vintage bar. You guys know me, I love my vintage 10-ounce bars. I also like my vintage 5-ounce bars or any type of vintage pours. But I got that, and you know, I'm not a fan of 5-ounce bars. I like my 10-ounce bars or 1-ounce coins or kilo bars. Not a big fan with 5-ounce bars, but I like this one. This one's cool. And there's a lot of other 5-ounce bars I like, but I'm just not a fan of them. I prefer, you know, 10-ounce or kilo bars or 1-ounce coins. But this is cool. This is another vintage bar. I don't see much on these bars online. I tried looking up this mint. I don't see much of them. I think there was like one website that was I seen these, and they're out of stock. But this is an ICI 5-ounce 3/9 fine silver bar. Um, I think it stands for International Coin something. International Coin Incorporated, I think it stands for. I have to look it up again. But yeah, cool little vintage 5-ounce bar. And yeah, that's my pickups for this weekend. But alright, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. And like I said, 90% guys, I know you can disagree or you can agree. Either way, doesn't matter to me. But in my opinion, I think 90% silver is where it's at right now. I mean, if you're a smart stacker and you want to get silver cheap for practically melt or less, 90% silver is where it's at. Don't listen to everybody about, oh, it's not, it's junk now. It really is junk now. Because I remember when I used to call it junk silver, I used to get yelled at, right? And then I had to start calling it constitutional silver. But everyone's saying, oh, constitutional silver is really junk now. It's really junk now. No, it's not. If you're an experienced stacker, buy this stuff, buy tons of it because you're getting it for melt or less. And then in a year from now, the premium's going to go up on it. It's going to be very popular again. It's happened before. Again, they gave it away 10 years ago. There was no premium on this stuff. 5 years ago, there was a crazy premium up until recently. And then now it's back down to practically no premium, melt, below melt. But if you're a smart stacker, that's when you want to buy it. All right, guys, I'm out. Catch you on the next one.